Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Error handling in C when dealing with user input is crucial for creating robust applications. Using CIN in C++ for input can lead to various issues, such as invalid data types or unexpected values. Below, I'll provide a comprehensive tutorial on how to handle user input errors effectively in C++. Error handling with CIN. When using CIN, you must consider the following potential issues. 1. Type mismatch, if the user inputs a different type than expected, example entering a letter when an integer is expected. 2. End of input, handling cases where the user ends the input stream, example pressing ctrl+d in Unix/Linux or ctrl+z in Windows. 3. Invalid values, checking for values that fall outside acceptable ranges. Steps to handle errors. 1. Check the state of CIN. After attempting to read input, check if CIN is in a good state. 2. Clear the error state. If an error occurs, clear the error state of CIN. 3. Discard invalid input. Use cin.ignore to discard the invalid input. 4. Prompt for input again. Ask the user to input the value again. Example code. Below is an example program that demonstrates error handling when reading an integer from the user. CPP. Include iostream. Include limits / for std numeric limits. Void get input, int end value. While, true. Std could please enter an integer. / try to read an integer. Std cin value. / check if the input is valid. If, std cin.fail. / if cin is in a fail state, clear the error. Std cin.clear, / clear the fail state. Std cin.ignore, std numeric limits std streams max, \n, / discard invalid input. Std could invalid input. Please enter a valid integer. Std end else. / if input is valid, discard any extra characters in the buffer. Std cin.ignore, std numeric limits std streams max, \n. Break, / break the loop if input is valid. Int main. Int number. Get input, number. Std could you entered, number std end Return 0. Explanation of the code. 1. Function declaration. The function getInput, int end value, is responsible for reading an integer from the user and handling errors. 2. Infinite loop. The while, true, loop continues until valid input is received. 3. Reading input. The program attempts to read an integer from the user using stdcin value. 4. Error checking. stdcin.fail, checks if the last input operation failed, example if the user entered a non-integer. If the input fails, stdcin.clear, resets the error state, allowing further input operations. stdcin.ignore, this discards the invalid input from the input buffer, preventing an infinite loop. 5. Valid input handling. If the input is valid, the program ignores any additional characters left in the buffer and exits the loop. 6. Main function. The main function calls getInput, and displays the valid integer entered by the user. Conclusion. Error handling for user input using CIN in C++ is essential to ensure that your program behaves correctly, even when faced with unexpected input. By checking the state of CIN, clearing any errors, discarding invalid input, and prompting the user for new input, you can create a more user-friendly and robust application.